CNBC TV18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.
Welcome back to the CNBC TV18 special. Our special guest today is Coal Secretary Mr. Anil Swarup. Mr. Swarup, will there be a cap on fixed costs when the PPAs come up?
Obviously, I have said that. Why do you keep asking this question time and again? We are trying our best to ensure, and I'd like to repeat, we'd like to ensure that the tariffs don't go up. I have announced that in the past. If someone still wants to bid aggressively, what can you and I do? That's why I asked that option of you. Please suggest. What should we do then? We've been announcing time and again, repeatedly on your channel and other channels, that we will not allow the tariffs to go up. How else should I say that? And if despite that someone bids aggressively and goes through the top, what can you and I do? If you have an option, please tell me.
Sir, let me just get a little more detail about these PPAs itself. Several companies that have bid do not yet have PPAs. So the coal that they mine will have to be given free to Coal India now until they sign the PPAs?
Not free. There is a stipulation that till such time that you sign a PPA at a particular price that is determined in the tender document, they will have to give it to Coal India. That's the stipulation.
Okay. Then the chances are that they may not want to even take that trouble because that price may not necessarily be very profitable for them. So is there a chance that much coal will not get mined at all?
No, if they don't mine, then they pay a price for it as well. As per the mining plan, they have to mine. See, I hope someone reads the tender document very carefully. We have looked at all these aspects and they are there in the tender document. And that's why I keep saying, I hope all the bidding is happening with their eyes wide open. And if they haven't read that, then that's their problem. I in any case, has too many problems to handle.
Okay, Mr. Swarup, one question is, some more clarity on merchant power sale. 15 to 20% can actually be sold by a lot of these companies on merchant basis. Can you tell us at what price will that power be sold? I mean, irrespective of what the companies have bid in, at least as far as the reverse bidding is concerned, can they go ahead and sell it at market price? Because that would actually hedge some of the under recoveries which the companies are making, at least in the interim.
First, let me correct you. It is 15% and not 15 or 20%. We have to be very specific about it. 5% is a lot of coal in it. So it's 15%. We don't determine the price at which they're going to sell the coal. But what we tell them, that for this mining, they'll pay a different premium to the state government. It's not the one that they have bid otherwise. It's a different premium for the regulated sector and for the non-regulated sector. So the premium to be paid is different for the power that is sold in the commercial sector, and at what rate they sell the power in the commercial sector is none of our concern.
Okay. With the premiums that these power companies pay to the state governments, will that also have to be adjusted for inflation?
Yes, the tariff determination is adjusted through inflation.
So
that's my understanding.
So tariff, yes, but premiums. Yes. This 400 rupees becomes 440 next year and 480 next year. If inflation is
it is indexed to the inflation right now.
If you look at the document, it is indexed.
Yes. Which inflation, sir? WPI or CPI? Which inflation?
Yes, it is indexed to. Yes.
No, sir. Which inflation?
Sorry?
Which inflation index?
Wholesale price.
Sir, do you think it would make Mr. Swarup, do you think it would make a better case to actually index it to the international coal prices? Currently the international coal prices are at a bottom, but do you think the government can explore that possibility in the future as well?
Finally, I've got a suggestion from you.
Sir, that will kill the companies. Pragya, you're going to be targeted by the industry if you did that.
I keep asking you. See, we don't have, I have right from the beginning said we don't, as of now, have all the answers. We have some of them. But these discussions help us to get some answers. I've got a very good input. We will examine it.
Okay. Well, Pragya is going to become the target of industry ire. But Mr. Swarup, let me come to the coking coal mines. There were only 3 of them. One has gotten cancelled because there's only one bidder. The other one has 3 bidders and the other one has 5. The one with 3 bidders, have they all qualified? Because if one of them doesn't qualify, then even that will get cancelled.
I don't have the details of that particular mine. Certainly, if one of them gets disqualified, we'll have to re-auction it.
Okay. Are you worried about the viability of the metal companies, Mr. Swarup? You know, the international landed prices of metals, both aluminum and steel, are crashing. In the last couple of weeks, steel prices have crashed by $30 from $450 to $420, the landed price we understand. Precisely at that time, the raw material price is going through the roof, as it were, almost 4,000 rupees per ton for some companies which have bid at that level. You are going to create a problem of terribly weak metal companies, aren't you?
See, try and understand I'm Secretary Coal. I would redesignate myself as Secretary Worried if I took all your worries with me. You know, we have our own, as I keep saying, we have innumerous problems that face the coal sector. I'm really focused on those. I'm quite hopeful that the industry that is involved in producing something would be equally worried about what they are doing. If I can solve my own problems, I think they will be able to solve their problems. I cannot comment on their behalf. I don't force them to bid in a particular manner. I don't ask them to do a particular thing. Why should I, in fact? They have to bid in a manner that makes things viable for them. What can I do sitting here as Secretary Coal and tell them, I have a greater wisdom than you bid it in this manner? It is their call. They are taking that call. I would suggest you, as one suggestion came to me, some of your colleagues can give them a few suggestions as well.
Well, sir, the coal minister is also the power minister. As well, in the cabinet, it is collective responsibility. So, if it falls on the plate of the Steels Ministry or the Finance Ministry as unviable steel companies and, unrestrained rise in NPLs, it is going to be a government problem. So, while you may have solved today's problem, haven't you created problems for the Finance Ministry?
I'm talking to you as Coal Secretary. You asked this question of the person that you're mentioning.
Okay.
I would look into the coal sector. If there is a problem, and we are not creating that problem, by the way. Okay. The problem was created when the blocks were given away just like that. Today we are getting money for the state governments, and as you might be aware, that this money is going to the poorest of the poor states. Okay. If that be the case and you say that I'm creating problems for the country, I think I will disagree with you. Because the value that was there, the intrinsic value of coal which was not being realized, is now presently being realized and passed on to the people who deserve it. The poorest of the poor in this country and that region of the country. So I don't think a problem is getting created. Yes, there could be some intermediate distortions as a consequence of aggressive bidding. It happens in any market-related situation. Otherwise, we regulate the whole market and regulate it in a manner that then you will criticize that everything is regulated. We have left it to the market forces. We are not taking a decision. The decision is taken by those that operate in the market. If they distort the market a bit, my hope is that the market itself will correct. What is expected of Coal Ministry to do? Stop the auction? Put a lid on the auction? Put a lid on the bid? What do you do? So, as one of your colleagues gave me a suggestion about international prices, I would suggest you give it a thought and give me another suggestion. What should Coal Ministry do?
Can you give us some idea of how much coal output you expect in FY16 from the country?
Let's take a look at how things are moving. Of the initial Schedule 2 blocks, which are 42 in number, the peak rate capacity is about 90 million tons. I am informed that only 35 million tons were being extracted. Given the desperation of the industry in bidding, I would presume that the entire 90 million ton will be extracted during the next financial year. And I think that's a right presumption, going by the aggressive bidding that they've had. There would be some blocks of Schedule 3 that may also be mined. So we're looking at around 130 to 140 million additional ton coming from the non-Coal India sector, which is quite a huge number, given that Coal India did about 500 million tons this year. And we hope to ramp up the production next year as well. I'm hopeful that we should be able to meet substantial amount of domestic demand, both from Coal India as well as the coal that will be mined from Schedule 2 and some of the mines of Schedule 3.
All right, Mr. Swarup, we will have to leave it at that. I can see that from a Coal Secretary's point of view, there is a lot of success that you can claim, but industry and the banking sector is a worried lot. Okay, maybe I should squeeze in one more question. You have allowed swapping of mines. Now, obviously, they are each being bid at, very different prices. Do you foresee a lot of problems in this swapping? And will you have to come with any regulations?
Though I might appear very confident sitting you, there have been innumerous problems in what we are doing.
Okay.
And I do foresee some problems in swapping as well. We are working on the regulations because some notification has to be brought out in terms of enabling swapping. We are working on that and we'll come out with those regulations.
Okay, can you give us a broad outline as to what were the problems, what are the problems you foresee, and therefore on what lines we should expect these rules?
There will be time for it. I'll come down to your, maybe for another interview on that.
Well, Mr. Anil Swarup, thank you very much for fielding all those questions. We hope the industry is satisfied with your replies, though my guess is there are going to be more worries in the days to come.
CNBC TV 18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.